Getting jacked is hard enough, but getting an anime-level physique with just calisthenics is even harder. How do you get jacked without a gym? In fact, I struggled for years to get a physique I was proud of until I started implementing these 5 key things. And once I did, I finally became proud of the hard work I was putting in, and now I'm in the best shape of my life. The first thing you'll want to do, in fact, the first thing you need to do, is log your episode 1. Let me explain. I'm sure we've all seen Deku from My Hero. He started off as a scrawny, weak, nobody, quirkless wannabe hero in episode 1. But near the end of the show, he becomes a much more capable, stronger, and one of the best heroes in that world who saves countless lives. Now, his transformation is incredible, it's impressive, no doubt about that. But what if somehow, hypothetically, episode 1 or even season 1 didn't exist? Somebody ate it, I don't know. His power and strength would still be cool, but we'd have nothing to compare it to. And maybe it is still impressive, but the fact is, without that episode 1, Deku's transformation from zero to hero is just not as impressive, and we don't see that much of an actual change. Maybe some of you out there think you aren't making actual progress yourself. You spent months training, you look in the mirror, and you see not that much change from yesterday. That's how I used to think too, but maybe that's the problem. You probably are making great progress, but you're only seeing it episode to episode. Of course the change is going to be tiny, but if you zoom out of it and look at your episode 1, your before picture, you might see a different story. You might see someone who is skinnier, nerdier, chubbier, and then when you look in the mirror now, you think, huh, I'm pretty cool. Taking that before picture can honestly make a huge difference on the way you perceive your own progress. And if you haven't yet, you better start now. Because if you think you're struggling to grow, sometimes the problem isn't with you. It's just an issue on how you're perceiving yourself. But let's say you are the issue. You look back on your episode 1 and you are 100% positive that you aren't making any progress. The next thing you'll want to do as soon as humanly possible is find your anime trio. And Sensei. Every great protagonist had an amazing anime trio. Eren had Armin and Mikasa. Itadori had Megumi and Kugisaki. Jotaro, he had more than a trio. He had the whole damn Stardust Crusaders, not to mention their mentors. Think Levi, Gojo, and honestly Jotaro is pretty independent, not gonna lie. The reason why most characters are written as a trio or a group is because together, as people, we're stronger. Ape together strong. Ooh. Now it sounds really corny, but it's actually true. When I started my own journey, I started alone. Just in my room doing pull-ups by myself. I'm a lonesome. And honestly, that was fine, but I felt the growth could have been a lot more. And I really wasn't leveling up all that much, or at least not as much as I wanted to. Not until I started my first year university and I began making some friends at the gym. And I would frequently go to the gym with them to train together. I'm not sure what it is, but working out with a buddy or a group of buddies made me feel just a little bit more motivated, a lot stronger, and made me push myself beyond what I thought I could do. I think it was the competitive nature of it, or just the fact that training became a lot more fun. And that was also the exact movement I improved my strength and physique. I got my first muscle up, I unlocked the straddle front lever, I even almost did a one-arm pull-up. And this is the exact reason why I built the Shonen Strength School community, to gather a bunch of sweaty anime nerds in one spot to motivate, compete, and challenge each other. Not to mention having a mentor like Gojo or Kakashi. Look at me compare myself to Gojo. Nah, I'd win. Having a mentor like them is tremendously helpful too. And I'm not just talking about when I do one-on-one coaching with clients. I myself am quite active in the Shonen Strength community, and I respond to as many new posts as I can, answering questions and roasting your workout form. I'm just imagining now, if I had somebody to guide me through the beginning of my journey, do you know where I would be right now? I'd be so freaking strong. I might actually be Gojo, but the universe decided to nerf me, and now I'm a YouTuber. But to be honest, it doesn't matter how good your trio or master is if you don't do this next thing, and that's to make a power-up protocol. Some of you train like how Season 1 Itadori used to train. Naive, uncontrolled, dysfunctional, and in the words of Toto, it's just wrong. But I don't blame you guys, because this is how I used to train. I kind of just worked out based on vibes. No real structure to the exercise I was doing, and no real plan. And that's fine if you want to work out. But if you want to truly grow, you need to make a power protocol. And the first thing you need for a power protocol is to pick what days of the week you want to train, what exactly you want to train, and when you rest. Here is an easy method to decide. If you want to have flexibility and train less during the week, then go with a full body split. If you want some more balance, but still want the ability to be flexible, then you should do an upper-lower workout split. And if you want to maximize training volume, and you have the time and dedication to work out every single day, do a push-pull full leg split with either 1 rest day or 2 rest days. This is my preferred split. Next up is picking the actual exercises. Obviously, it depends on what day it is, but every power-up protocol follows the same exact structure. First, pick the hardest compound exercise you can do. Ideally, one that challenges you at about 6 to 8 reps. Alternatively, you could just pick an exercise you really want to practice, or an exercise that works a muscle group you really want to grow. Next, pick another compound movement that challenges you, but in the 8 to 10 rep range. After that, pick 2 exercises that challenge you in that 8 to 10 or 10 to 12 rep range, or even 15 plus if you want to. And this could be anything, like an isolation exercise or a compound exercise. And of course, between all of your sets, rest enough. 2 or 3 minutes is fine. And it is that simple. But Kevin, it sounds like a power protocol is just a term you made up for a really well-structured and organized workout routine. It may seem that way because it is. Again, I've seen some of your guys' programs. Most of you guys have some pretty chaotic schedules. And only if you can make it a more well-organized, well-structured workout routine, power protocol, will your gains truly pop. But having a power protocol is not going to be enough. Sure, what you train is important. What's equally important is how you train. So in this section, I'm going to show you how you can train hard by going beyond plus ultra. When I was training hard to build muscle, I ran into a big issue. My growth was stagnating and I could not figure out how to get past this plateau. And that's when I realized something. In the beginning of my journey, my workouts felt like I was battling demons. But now my workouts felt like a complete walk in the park, just breezing through, no issue. I knew in that moment, I knew what I had to do. Now, I'm sure all of you guys have heard you and your mothers talk about training to failure, but what I'm about to tell you is a lot more than that. We are training to failure and beyond. It is beyond plus ultra. And my favorite way to do that is what I call the rep promise. Take your perceived max reps for a given exercise. Let's say it's pull-ups and my rep max is 6. Now take your max reps and add 2 to 5 more reps on top of it. Then once you do that, you need to promise yourself that you are going to hit that number every single set, every single time, no matter what. And one of 2 things are going to happen. Either you discover that your max reps were never your max reps in the first place, i.e. you can do the rep promise no problem, or you get to your max and train beyond failure, guaranteeing that you are growing, you're doing more, you're progressively overloading, adding more strength and muscle. And even if you hit that number on the first set, but then the second set and the third set, you can barely reach it, too bad. You can drop down, take like a 10-second break, hop back on the bar or the floor or the barbell or whatever the hell you're doing, and continue repping that out and finishing what you promised you would do. Now, even if you are training hard and you're following a perfect power protocol or workout routine for the normies, if you are not doing this next tip, it is going to kill your progress. In fact, it's what killed my progress many times because I struggled with this so much, and that is to train humble. You know how Sung Jin Woo goes into the dungeon to fight Cerberus in season 1? It's because he believed in his own strength. He was slowly becoming OP and he wanted to help his mother. All fair reasons, but Cerberus nearly chewed him up. And if it weren't for some lucky breaks and sheer grit, he probably would have died. To be fair, he did win the battle. But if he wanted to do it smarter and in a more sustainable way, he should have humbled himself a bit, waited to tackle that dungeon later, and he would have been able to do it with a little less effort and a little less risk. When I started training and I saw the cool calisthenics moves, the way people were doing strength stuff, static stuff, that is all I wanted to do. So I tried doing random ass moves that I knew were way too difficult for me. And even if I did them with bad form, I still kept doing it. And of course, because of that, I wasn't training properly to actually grow my muscles. So I wasn't getting bigger and I was not getting stronger. Even for the moves I could do, the only reason I was doing them was not to get stronger or anything. It was just to show off. And the worst of it is I injured myself pretty badly trying to lift a super heavy weight that I have not picked up in a while. If you're working out, it's just as important for you to know what you shouldn't train as what you should train. If you're gonna go into a workout with that old Sung Jin Woo attitude and push through difficult exercises that you can't even handle, then you're never going to achieve your anime level gains. You're just gonna be wasting time and you're probably gonna hurt yourself. The fact is, when you enter the gym or wherever you work out, you need to leave your ego at the door, pick it up on your way out, and you need to slowly, progressively overload over time. You can't just jump into random calisthenics exercises thinking they're gonna make you swole. So watch this video right here if you want to learn every calisthenics exercise that you need to learn to achieve an anime level physique starting from 0.